Hi everyone, it's so great to be back from retirement and working with all of you again. I'm Debbie Supple. I'm the former CPIN lead and now a CPIN instructor helping John Moon, the new CPIN lead, and he's not so new because it's been over a year already. And I'm so glad to be back with my partner in crime, Eloisa Mendoza-Hines, the dream
everyone.
team here. Hi, and we're known and have been known for all of our wonderful displays in our in-person workshops. And because we can't be together now, we have put together some of these things for each of our modules so that you can really take a look at some of the resources that you might use in your classroom. So we're here today at our storage unit called Mozzie down in Alamo, California, and we are pulled out some of our materials and we're going to walk you through some of them. So are we ready to go? We're going to do play today. As you can see, we have our wonderful display. You might create something similar in your classroom, but really this is what we would have available in a training. So you can see all of the multicultural puppets representing our beautiful children in the Bay Area. And we have lots of blocks because independent play that involves experience and exploration is really what we're talking about here. This is their work at this age to play. And it doesn't mean that adults are always organizing it. There's some play that is adult directed, but most of it is experiential learning done by the children during your free choice time. So you see lots of wonderful blocks that are texturized because of children that might have difficulty actually feeling the edges. This might be a child with special needs or a disability or just a child who's still exploring, and often our younger children still need to pick things up a lot and hold them and feel them in order to understand that this shape is a cube, right? And you can see that there's little texture there. We also put some books up about risk-taking because we as children went out, we played, we weren't hovered over. The research tells us that they need to go out and take risks. So we have a wonderful book on having courage, a book about being brave, and this wonderful book, You Are Brave, in the Todd Snow series. There's a book called Bounce Back, a book about resilience, because the play research talks about how much play builds resilience in our kiddos. And see, here's my resilience. We're losing our blocks there on our display. So lots of good books. You see Ada Twist, Scientist, over on the left, because children are natural scientists and they go and experiment. And that is science too. This crosses over into so many of our content areas. We have books about friendship, initiating play, how do you ask a friend to play, children with special needs, who are extraordinary friends, and all of this can be in your classroom, on your bookshelves. There's another book over there, I can't see the title, so I'm going to grab it, but I love it. It's called Play With Me, and it's a Caldecott book. And if you want to really talk about play or share this with your families, this might be a great way to start. So I'm going to have Eloisa come up now and talk about our dual language learners as they relate to play.
Hi everyone, so good to be back. We just had a wonderful time putting this display table for all of you to hopefully take a look at and get some good ideas from, so that you're back in your classrooms. You can, change things up. But we want to make sure that we remind you, right, and those of you that are coming back into the classroom that are maybe new, maybe this is your first year, that we need to be thinking about all of our children. As Debbie said, we live in a very diverse part of the country, the Bay Area in particular. We've got families from all sorts of ethnic and cultural backgrounds, including probably over 40 language groups. So when we're thinking about play, also be thinking about, well, what kinds of books are out there that are bilingual. So think about, what language groups are represented in your programs. And an example, we have a lot of Spanish language ones. So one of the books I want to share is Tu eres amigable, which is You Are Friendly, a beautiful little book with very straightforward language that you want to expose the children to in their home language first, especially if they're at that very beginning stage of English language acquisition. And then you would move into the English language book, You Are Friendly. And there are many, many, many books out there now that are not only bilingual, but you can get them in a particular language and in English as well. And that's really the best approach. And of course, as Debbie mentioned, having all these hands-on kinds of activities that are very open-ended are very inviting for our children who maybe don't quite have the English language vocabulary to express what it is that they might be doing, but you want to be able to engage them, right? And having anything that's textured and colorful that's going to attract them into that particular area is what you want. And again, having a variety of materials like these wooden blocks, having props like this little ball that goes with this little book I can play. All of that is going to elicit language development and meet children where they are. If they're in that home language stage, come up with some what we call high function words, those kinds of words, vocabulary that will help you meet their immediate needs, and then you just build on that. So always be thinking about all of your children, your dual language learners, as well as your children with special needs. All of these items can be used and modified, adapted to meet the needs of your children, along that continuum of learning from that 48 months to 60 months.
And it helps us make invitations
Absolutely.
to the children so that they'll want to engage. When it's exciting and pleasing to the eye like this, they're going to want to go check it out.
Absolutely, and take advantage of their learning. Observe, take notes, and see how they're progressing along that continuum of learning.